Γεια σας παιδιά. Πάμε καινούριο παιχνίδι. Παιχνίδι είναι horror, The Sinking City, μυθολογία Cthulhu, HP Lovecraft. Όσοι δεν έχετε διαβάσει και είσαστε φαν, θα μου κάνει τεράστια εντύπωση του horror μυθιστορήματος. Πάμε να ξεκινήσουμε την περιπέτεια. Πού είσαι ρε Λίμπε? Λοιπόν, εδώ είμαστε. Ξεκινάμε το story from scratch. Άτα μας. Τα απολαύσουμε τώρα παιδιά. Τζίμις, Γιάννης, Τας, Βαγ, Λίο. Για τώρα θέλει λίγο συγκέντρωση, οπότε θα σας χάνω λίγο στο chat, αλλά θα κοιτάω. Καινούριο game horror. Χάρη. Όψ. Τα γραφικά είναι θεϊκά. Ισχύει. Ω, Κουρόμι, how are you? Ο τύπος είναι χαμένος. Το story είναι... The Sinking City. Δεν είναι το Kraken, είναι ο Cthulhu. Σιγά σιγά θα αρχίσουμε να μαθαίνουμε λίγο την ιστορία. Thank you, Kuromi. Are you? Πάμε μια καρδούλα για την Kuromi, παιδιά. Λοιπόν, δεν το έχω παίξει καθόλου. Το μόνο που έχω καταφέρει
I never have to use it, but something tells me I will.
Έχουν visions, λέει, σε αυτό το χωριό. Οράματα. Μάλιστα. Folding camera. Ωραία, εδώ βλέπουμε τα γράμματα που έχουμε πάρει.
Never trust a tourist advertisement. Never trust a tourist advertisement.
Οκ. Αυτό τι είναι? Θέλει φωτογράφηση. Ωραία. Εντάξει, το βγάλαμε όμως. Οκ, evidence. Έλα ρε Γιάννη, τι έγινε? Χάρης, πού είσαι? Και κάτι είχε και εδώ να ανοίξουμε. Gunpowder, coil springs, 2 cells. Κάτι μου λέει δεν θα βρίσκουμε εύκολα όπλα. Κάτι τα κάνουμε γι' αυτό. Healing, αυτό είναι τούβλο. Οκ. Πάλι κάρισες.
Now get out. At last, Mr. Charles Reed.
Τι πράγμα είναι
What a
αυτό.
pleasure to finally meet you in the flesh.
Nice to
Όλα
meet
καλά κι
you.
εγώ.
Johannes Vanderberg,
Vanderberg.
at your service. I did promise to meet you the moment you arrived.
Ah, much obliged, Mr.
Ας πω
Vanderberg.
χρέωσες.
I guess I didn't expect you to mean so literally.
Πατηστήκια,
Please
παιδιά, τα
call
ακούτε,
me
ξέρω.
Johannes. But where are my manners? Welcome to the proud city of Oakmont. Alas, now is not its finest hour, though it is its most important.
Ωραία.
Reaching Oakmont was no easy task. Most maps I found didn't mark it, and this rickety packet ship is the only one that sailed here. Why
Εντάξει.
is that?
Δεν μπορούσε να το βρει
Oakmont is
εύκολα.
no ordinary place. Its
Γεια σου,
unique
Βασίλη.
geographical position and the flood, a
Βαλγύρια.
recent natural disaster,
Το σημείο που
make
βρίσκεται
it nigh impossible to reach.
ήταν
But
δύσκολο
you
να
made
το
it.
φτάσουμε. Να το...
I'm sure the tides of fate would
Εντοπίσουμε
approach
και
you
να
here
φτάσουμε.
one way or another.
Tell me about this flood.
Τι είναι η
It began
πλημμύρα.
6 months ago.
Δεν
Storms
υπόψη μήνες,
raged
λέει.
for several weeks, and the water has risen
Πολλές
ever higher
καταιγίδες και
without
σηκώθηκε
ceasing.
το
Now the city
επίπεδο
is
της
cut off
θάλασσας.
from the mainland.
Α,
I must say I rather like it, despite the inconvenience.
τους έχει αποκόψει από το Κύριος.
You know?
You said you know someone who can help me with my problem. The visions have been getting worse.
Such vividness of dreams is not uncommon
Όλα καλά.
here in Oakmont.
Σπύρο.
By chance, the man I spoke of, Robert Throgmorton, is already at the port. He has dedicated a lot of time and effort to
Λοιπόν, παιδιά, για να
investigate.
καταλάβετε λίγο, εδώ η ιστορία...
Alas, I fear he has a more
Γενικά ο
pressing
Lovecraft έχει να κάνει με μια περίεργη μυθολογία, με κάτι αρχαίους θεούς, τέρατα, και συνήθως εδώ κατά πάσα πιθανότητα θα έχουμε και health να προστατέψουμε, αλλά και το sanity, δηλαδή και τα μυαλά μας, γιατί συνήθως τρελαίνονται αυτοί που βλέπουν τέρατα και τέτοια.
How can I find Mr. Throgmorton?
Don't worry, you can't miss him. Throgmorton tends to stand out from the crowd.
Ναι, Σπύρο, με γέννη, είναι η Κουρόμη από την Ιαπωνία.
A remarkable creature, scion of a robust bloodline, a philanthropist, a scholar, and the patron of the famous Oakmont University. A man of great ambitions and even greater ego. Do not make him wait.
I'll need a place to lay my head while I'm here. Any recommendations?
Fear not, I've already feathered a nest for you. There's a room in your name at the Devil's Reef Hotel.
Devil's Reef.
Here's the key.
Sounds charming.
Charming.
Don't judge a book by its cover, Mr. Reed.
How do you fill your days, Mr. Vanderberg?
I host a philosophy club for the like-minded intelligentsia, gathering seeds of thought.
120 γεν νομίζω είναι περίπου €1.
Does Oakmont really have much of a market for philosophy these days?
There is no consciousness without pain, Mr. Reed. No better moment for clarity than times of hardship.
What's the best way to get around Oakmont? I'd
don't
like to
put
drop
up
my
on-
things at the hotel.
Most locals go by foot or by boat. I've got the latter sorted for you. There's one waiting outside the port.
You're too kind, Johannes. Can you steer me towards the Devil's Reef?
Take this map. I've marked the hotel and a few other key places.
Other places? Like what?
You're a private eye, yes? Well, I've highlighted the police station, city archive, newspaper, places you'll need to get to the truth. This city is insular, its ways mysterious. No one will take you by the hand, so you better know where to turn in search of a
Okay.
Well, that's it for now, I think. Thanks for helping me get my bearings.
No, no. The pleasure was mine, Mr. Reed.
Oh, before you go, how can I get in touch with you later?
Don't worry about that. I'm the kind of man who finds you.
Εντάξει, στο παρόν δεν θα ασχοληθούμε με αυτό, είναι το map λίγο. Ωραία. Μάλιστα.
We'll meet again, Mr. Reed.
Πού σε ρε Χέβη? Τι έγινε Γιώργο? Ωραία, τι σκηνικό αυτό.
The end is nigh. It will begin again. What is down comes up. The seed is sowed. The end is nigh. It will begin again. What is down comes up. The seed is sowed.
Πάει. Του στρίψε η βίδα. The Sinking City. Lovecraft. Epic Games. Το αγόρασα την προηγούμενη εβδομάδα με το που βγήκε βασικά. Το αγόρασα, αλλά δεν έχω παίξει. Λέει Under the Kill Bar.
I don't care about your petty excuses. No one leaves the port until my son is found, and that is fine.
Excuse me. Are you Robert Throgmorton?
I am, but not interested. Go away.
The name's Charles Reed. I'm a private investigator, just arrived from Boston. I was told you might be able to help me.
Private investigator, you say? Well, perhaps we can help each other.
If I may ask, what happened to your son?
Why do you care? What's your angle, outsider?
Well, like I said, I'm a PI. Finding people is kind of my specialty.
Is it? Well, Albert was part of a deep-sea expedition I commissioned. This useless fool over here says he found Albert washed ashore in a lifeboat. Says he was barely conscious, out of his mind, talking gibberish in some other language. That he even tried to bite him.
And you don't believe him?
Complete malarkey. I know my Albert. I raised him strong and smart, the best of his kind. It couldn't have been him. Albert's disappearance is the work of Innsmouthers. Mark my words.
Please forgive the question, but I've never met a man quite like you before.
That's because no man measures up to the Throgmorton lineage. Proud and powerful blood flows through our veins. My father united with a certain royal family, which has blessed all our offspring with these exquisite features.
I take it you're not the biggest fan of these Innsmouthers.
Those fish-faced freaks have overrun this city since the police burned Innsmouth to the ground. But now, those filthy migrants occupy half this damned city. The port, Grimhaven Bay, Salvation Harbor, the shells, they are everywhere.
So they're just refugees?
Hardly. They've taken work from the local fishermen. They stir and agitate against us, the Throgmorton family. We are the pillar of this community, not to mention that crime rates have skyrocketed. Simply speaking, They're a big stinking pile of trouble.
I've heard you're the
ξέρει
man
για
to
τα
speak to
visions.
about visions, outbreaks of hysteria. I'm trying to get to the bottom of it myself.
Another newcomer with another problem. Yes, I know what you speak of.
Can I ask you a few questions?
Πυθικό
How
κεφάλι.
dare you? My son Albert is missing and no one in this Innsmouth-ridden city will do a damn thing. But yes, let's talk about your dreams.
Mr. Throgmorton, let me help you. I'm rather good at tracking down missing people. I'll find Albert.
What makes you think you can do it? Oakmont is not exactly friendly to new arrivals.
Let's just say I tend to see things that others miss. And anyway, what have you got to lose? Sounds like you could use every man you can get.
Vera, you have a point, newcomer.
Sorry, did you just say Vera? What does that mean?
You had better get used to the Oakmont dialect, outsider. That is, if you want to fit in. It is a fascinating blend. Vera means fine. I was saying, we have a deal.
I see. Thank you. I need to know more about what happened to Albert.
Dane, did you not listen at all? I already told you everything. After leaving on the expedition, Albert was found on the shore in a lifeboat. This fisherman supposedly brought him to the house and then left to call me. But when I arrived here, my son was nowhere to be seen.
Anything else?
Clearly, something suspicious occurred inside the house. I suggest you stop dawdling and go see for yourself.
Where's the house where this all happened?
For Kay's sake, I thought you were a private eye. We're standing right in front of it.
You mentioned a lifeboat. Is it still around?
Yes. Face the house, then to the left is a beach that borders a fence. You'll find it there.
As much as I'm enjoying the weather, Mr.
Custom
Throgmorton,
σου.
it's time for me to get started.
Find my son.
I've said everything I know.
Don't do anything stupid, newcomer, and keep your hands where I can see them.
Huh. This dog mat looks better than the owner's bed.
Καλά, Μάρια
The
λογιά.
book is damp and damaged, but clearly well cared for. The book is damp and damaged, but clearly well cared for.
Έχει να κάνει με το γδούλο. Γιατί ανέβηκα εγώ.
Hello? Hey, can you hear me?
Oh, my head. What? Who are you?
It's okay. I'm Charles Reed, private eye.
Oh, okay. What do you want?
I want to know what happened here. Every detail.
I don't remember much. Me, Paul, and Lewis. We were here. This is our house. Barry was outside on his business. Then he came back carrying Throgmorton's son. He was unconscious, barely breathing. Barry left again to call Mr. Robert.
Then what?
We put the guy in Lewis's room. Then he started to make these horrible sounds and... Okay. My head began to burst. And he woke up. And after that, I don't remember a thing. Just dreams. Drowned streets, a sleeping giant, a voice that called me...
That's... Tell me about yourself.
Name's Will Hammond. I'm a fisherman. We all are. Live here together. Me, poor fella Paul, Barry, and Innsmouther Lewis Flynn. We moved here after the flood. I worked on the railroad, but the rail ain't kicking anymore, so I started fishing. It was that or starve.
Who is this K you keep...
Outsiders, show some respect. K is our Lord, our light, our love.
Sorry. Where are all the other guys?
That's Paul there on the floor. K be with him. Barry's outside with Mr. Throgmorton. Lucky Rascal missed everything. And I have no idea what Lewis or Throgmorton's son got to. Starting to suspect.
Do you know how Paul died?
I don't know. When I pulled myself together, he was already gone. Hey, have mercy.
I'll leave you to it. Take care of yourself, Will.
Please, detective, sir, tell me the truth. Could it be me? Did I kill Paul?
I don't know yet, Will. The police will stop anyone coming in or out of here, so I suggest you just try and get...
I'm afraid of what I might dream.
Let's see what you find, newcomer. Let's see what you find, newcomer.
I can barely recognize the face of the poor fella. He was beaten to a pulp.
Γεια σου, Βούσου. Κάτι παίζει εδώ. Alcohol.
Choo choo. Ahem.
Γεια σου, Τάσο.
Seems like Prohibition hasn't affected Oakmont too much. knives like this before. Masterful work. Five cards short of a full house.
Αλλά δεν τους σκοτώσουμε ακόμα.
I've said everything I know.
Ανεβαίνει πάνω. Σε ένα σπίτι, μην πας στο υπόγειο. Εννοείται ότι θα πάω. Τεράστια. Αυτά καλαμαράκια. Καλά πάμε μπροστά.
The port is closed by order of Robert Throgmorton. Back off.
Δεν μιλάει. Από εδώ πάει μόνο. Ας το εξάδερα. Θα ψάξουμε μία εδώ τι γίνεται. έχεις παίξει να σποιλάρεις. Πώς το έχεις παίξει ρε φίλε? Πότε το πήρες? Δεν σποιλάρει, εννοείται δεν σποιλάρει. No spoil. Τι έγινε, πού ήταν όλα αυτή? Έχει γίνει, εδώ έχει γίνει μια πλημμύρα. Και τώρα έχει χαθεί και ένας. Κάποιοι βλέπουν οράματα. Δύσκολα τα πράγματα το βλέπω.
You look familiar, but old Billy hasn't seen you around. You look familiar, but old Billy hasn't seen you around.
Μέσα στο κέφι όλοι.
Stay alert. Monsters lurk underground. They're everywhere.
Έλα. Μη σποιλάρεις,
Welcome to Under the Keel. What do you want?
Bye.
Come closer, troubled soul. Let me tell you what your future holds.
You're some kind of, fortune teller?
Yes, my dear, yes. Oh, it's so clear.
Really? Like what?
Not so fast, newcomer. I see.
Alright, how much?
Your money has no value here, newcomer. After the flood, Oakmonters deal in the practical. Booze, smokes, and I'll make it easier for you. I don't smoke.
Some other time.
As you wish.
Στέλνουμε τις φέρει.
I'll miss the carpenter's food giveaway with this darn port closure.
Πρέπει να φτιάξουμε και σφαίρες κάπου.
You want a drink? You want a drink? What the? Get the... Oh.
The door won't budge.
Καλά, σιγά μην ερχόταν ειδοποίηση. Αυτά είναι για τα... Λοιπόν, κάτσε λίγο να δούμε πώς θα φύγουμε από εδώ τώρα. Πίσω από αυτό το στρογγυλό, λέει. Έλα ρε ανάπηρο, πώς προχωράς. Τέλειο. Θα σου λέω. Ω, καλά, εντάξει. Τι γίνεται, πώς θα πάμε στο ξενοδοχείο. Γεια σου, Χιλιά. Σημαίνει αυτό. Κοίτα ρε, γάτες καλαμάρι. Ωραία.
Can't catch a mackerel since those Innsmouthers took over the fishing business. Can't catch a mackerel since those
You like it here,
Innsmouthers took over
newcomer?
the fishing business.
Well, get used to it. No one leaves Oakmont nowadays.
Something with this helmet gives me chills. What's wrong with it?
Μάλιστα.
Something with this helmet gives me chills. What's wrong with it?
Can't catch a mackerel since those Innsmouthers took over the fishing business.
You like it here, newcomer? Well, get used to it.
Θα μ' αφήνει να πάω πάνω. Τι είναι οι Stranger Things?
Mr. Throgmorton, I found this in the lifeboat. Looks like it's your son's will.
Give it to me. Oh, my boy, what did you get yourself into? If only I hadn't sent you on that cursed expedition.
Bye.
I gave you clear instructions, did I not?
I've said everything I know.
Don't do anything stupid, newcomer. And keep your hands where I can see them.
Join in, newcomer. Praise the sea with us. Join in, newcomer. Praise the sea with us.
door won't budge.
Είμαστε. Καλά είμαστε, 11 σφαίρες.
The port is closed by order of Robert Throgmorton. Back off.
Δεν το έχω, stranger.
You look familiar, but old Billy hasn't seen you around.
Stay alert! Monsters lurk underground.
Hey, knock
They're
it off.
everywhere.
You want a drink?
Ας έγγελες.
I'd like you to tell my fortune.
Splendid.
Let's hear what my future holds.
Good. Let me focus. The sea will be generous in the coming days. Many gifts delivered, and many will regret partaking.
I don't think I follow.
I see old and new. A hard heart against an iron will. Whoever wins, you win too. But you'll only see that from inside a metal cage. And tall pillars circled by the dead. A race from one to the next, as time itself laughs.
I think I'd like my bullet back.
It is what it is. The truth will out soon. Me, I just...
Why do I feel like I got scammed?
Embrace your fate.
Τσίλες. Δεν πρέπει να βρούμε το γιο του άλλου.
Ugh, I'll miss the carpenter's food giveaway with this darn port closure.
Δεν ήταν ένας. Σε Ζάχο. Βέβαια, δεν χτίζουμε.
Now get out!
Παιχνιδάρα, παιχνιδάρα.
I can barely recognize the face of the poor fella. He was beaten to a pulp.
My head! I still hear those voices.
Choo choo. Ahem.
Let's see what you find, newcomer.
Never seen knives like this before. Masterful work.
Φάβο, τι είναι?
Seems like prohibition hasn't affected Oakmont too much.
Κολοδίνο, ωραίος. Διακοπές.
So that's what an Innsmouther looks like.
Ακριβώς. Αυτό γιατί δεν το κάνει κάτι? Ευχαριστώ ρε Φάβο, να είσαι καλά μωρέ. Να καταλάβω. Να δούμε λίγο. Σε έχει δώσει τίποτα, αυτή τη βάρκα εδώ που θα πάμε και στο ξενοδοχείο, αυτά θέλουμε τώρα. Η Ντέμ είχε μπει Fortnite, η Μαρία βγήκε και θα ξαναμπεί. Εντάξει, δεν μπορεί να είναι όλοι. Έχουμε τον Γιώργο εδώ, το χέρι με πέρα.
He was beaten to a pulp. The book is damp and damaged, but clearly well cared for.
Εντάξει, σφαίρες και έχουμε.
Huh. This dog mat looks better than the owner's bed. I can barely recognize the face of the poor fella. He was beaten to a pulp.
I gave you clear instructions, did I not?
Where's your Oberon, huh, Titania?
All evidence. Τι λέτε?
Something with this helmet gives me chills. What's wrong with it?
Can't catch a mackerel since those Innsmouthers took over the fishing business.
You like it here, newcomer? Well, get used to it.
Πάσαμε health τώρα. Εδώ δεν μπαίνει, τα πάμε αυτά.
Κάνεις live.
Πού είσαι, Μαρία? Εδώ δεν πάμε πουθενά. Πού πήγε αυτός? Γεια σου, Λούκας. Δεν μπαίνει πουθενά.
What's your problem?
Έλα.
Oh, yeah. Hey, got a spare bullet, fella? I ain't eaten in days. Oh, yeah. Hey, got a spare bullet, fella? I ain't eaten in days.
Δεν μπορώ να το συνδυάσουμε αυτό. Δεν το συνδυάζει τα πράγματα και φτιάξα story. Κάτι μου λείπει τώρα εμένα, δεν μπορώ να καταλάβω τι. Να πάμε στο φυσικό. Οπα. Μάλλον κάτω από το τέτοιο πρέπει να πάμε, αλλά τώρα πώς θα πάμε εδώ. Το τρομακτικό ποιο είναι εδώ. Ακόμα ψάχνουμε.
I can barely recognize the face of the poor fella. He was beaten to a pulp. Choo choo. Ahem.
I gave you clear instructions, did I not?
You want a drink?
Παιδιά, κουλούε. Γεια σου, Τάση.
Embrace your fate.
What the? Get the. Oh.
The door won't budge. The door won't budge. The door won't budge.
Τσάμπα της φέραλος. Ποια είναι η υπόθεση? Σε αυτό το χωριό βλέπουν οράματα. Κάτι έχει γίνει.
Stay alert.
Χαθεί ο γιος
Monsters lurk underground. They're everywhere.
Γενικά είναι HP Lovecraft ιστορία. Που σημαίνει ότι υπάρχουν τέρατα της θάλασσας και δεν ξέρω τι άλλο.
The port is closed by order of Robert Throgmorton. Back off.
Να βρούμε εκεί τι γίνεται. Κάτι γίνεται εκεί.
Don't do anything
I've
stupid,
said everything I
newcomer,
know.
and keep your hands where I can see them.
Χώρο.
Let's see what you find, newcomer.
Choo choo. Ahem. I can barely recognize the face of the poor fella. He was beaten to a pulp. So that's what an Innsmouther looks like. Seems like Prohibition hasn't affected Oakmont too much. Never seen knives like this before. Masterful work.
Ευχαριστώ πάνω. Αυτό εδώ.
Glenna, Nehri, Glenna, Gebhal, Nugula. Grimar, Nihri, Grimar, Gebhal, Nugulinat.
Το Battle Pass με το Sack, νομίζω πως όχι. Νομίζω πως όχι.
Never seen knives like this before. Masterful work.
Ωραία. Τι ήταν τώρα αυτό? Μπορεί να μου ψάρει τα χώρα, δεν πειράζει. Εγώ πάντως γι' αυτό έδωσα 40 ευρώ το παιχνίδι. Αν θυμάμαι καλά. Ολοκαίνουργιο της Epic.
I still hear those voices.
Εσύ τα.
The book is damp and damaged, but clearly well cared for.
Ναι, heavy, μην αρέσει, αλλά μην το γράψεις έτσι. Έχει μείνει κάποιος γρίφος μέσα. Μου ξεφύγει εμένα 100%.
Let's see what you find, newcomer.
It would take tremendous effort to move this thing, let alone tossing it over like this.
What's happening?
Take this, ape face. Yeah, run!
Okay, let's see what we have here.
Τι να πει, όλα καλά. Έγινε Ζάχο, ναι. Τώρα πρέπει να βάλουμε στη σειρά μάλλον.
Take this, ape face. Yeah, run!
What's happening? What's happening?
Take this, ape face. Yeah, run!
What?
Take this, ape face. Take this, ape face. Yeah, run!
When Albert Throgmorton woke up, he was not himself. He attacked the fishermen, and his hysteria spread to them. When he got wounded, he fled.
Let's see what you find, newcomer.
Αυτό είναι.
There was a fierce fight here, but someone tried to flee. So the fishermen pursued Albert, even let off a few shots.
Για πάμε κάνα σέρε λίγο το στρεμάκι. made the breakthrough. Αυτό δεν είναι. Γεια σου Ρέιζ. What the fuck?
One fatal round through the forehead. That's no accident. This was deliberate. One fatal round through the forehead. That's no accident. This was deliberate.
Δεν έβριζε. Τι αυτό? Με τον Demo Gorgon σε Smickers. Αλήθεια, Stranger Things έχει βγει παιχνίδι.
Something in the pocket. And the blood is fresh. Whomever it belongs to could not have got far.
Ωραία, τσιμπήσαμε. But κάνουμε αρή. Είναι live. Να πάμε στη μαϊμουδόφατσα να δούμε τι θα γίνει.
Mr. Throgmorton, I've encountered something.
What? I don't have all day.
Some unusual creatures, and they sure weren't friendly.
You've seen a wild beast, Mr. Reed. I'm somewhat surprised to see you still alive. Those unsettling things appeared after the flood. I've commissioned a few studies on them, but we know little more than when we started. They're aggressive, but fortunately not immune to gunfire.
Yeah, I learned that firsthand.
Try to avoid them when possible. And when you can't, keep your weapons handy.
Mr. Throgmorton, I'm afraid I have bad news.
No.
Yeah, I found your son in the basement of a nearby warehouse. I'm sorry, but he was murdered. Shot in the head and the body hidden.
No. It cannot be true. No, no, no. I don't believe it. No.
My condolences, Mr. Throgmorton. I had hoped for a happier outcome.
Your condolences will not bring him back. So much of our blood spilt for nothing. So much effort in vain. My poor Albert. Tell me you know who did it. I want to look him in the eyes, make him beg for mercy.
I don't know exactly. I have some suspects, but I need to investigate further.
What kind of private eye are you?
A thorough one. When I find him, I'll tell you.
Fine. No one leaves the port until then. Find me that dirtbag and I'll help you with anything you need.
Στο μπαρ. Πήγαμε. Γεια σου αγάπη. Είχαμε σεισμούς, καταποντισμούς.
Oh. Yeah. Hey. Got a spare bullet?
You look familiar, but old Billy hasn't seen you around.
Stay alert. Monsters lurk underground. They're everywhere.
Ugh, I'll miss the carpenter's food giveaway with this darn port closure.
I've seen some unsettling creatures around, like nothing I've ever encountered. What are they?
So you met a wild beast, newcomer. No one knows what they are, but consider yourself lucky to still be in one piece. They arrived in the flood. Some say they come from the sea. Others that they are Kay's punishment for us.
And what do you say?
If it bleeds, you can kill it. Keep your gun handy. And if you want to erase the memory, I sell a perfect cure right here. Remember, better to be a coward and live than brave and dead. Unless you're a newcomer.
I'm looking for a man by the name of Lewis Flynn. Any chance he's here?
Yeah. Even if I knew, I don't rat to newcomers.
Robert Throgmorton hired me to investigate his son's disappearance. I found the note about your debt to Lewis near his cold, dead body. And it looks like Lewis murdered Robert's kid. You want him to come here and ask instead of me?
What?
Don't what me. At best, you're harboring a criminal. At worst, you're an accessory to murder.
What? No. I ain't done nothing.
Tell that to Mr. Throgmorton.
No. Throg. Lewis is upstairs. Here's the key.
Smart man. There's your good deed for the day. Bye.
Hey, who are you? What are you doing?
Charles Reed, private investigator. Mr. Throgmorton hired me to find his son Albert, so I think you know why I'm here.
Throg. That darn bartender. It was all that crazy ape's fault. You hear me?
Calm down. I only want to speak, for now. But no, if you reach for your gun, you'll hit the floor faster than you can say poetic justice.
I got nothing to hide.
Start at the beginning. What happened?
We were in our house, me, Paul, and Will. Barry'd gone to the sea. So I told him that it would only bring bad luck. If he'd listened to me, we'd all still be alive.
Come on, Lewis. Focus.
Right. Well, Barry dragged that damn ape to our house. He was bragging about how much Mr. Throgmorton would give us for saving his son. But that ape, he was out cold. Then woke in an instant and started screaming, attacking us. After that, can't remember a thing.
What kind of... why do you... your face, it's,
Oh, so you're here to attack me just because I look different to you? Wanna spit on me, whisper to your friends? What's new?
No, I'm sorry. I didn't know how to ask. I've just never met someone like you before. I didn't mean any offense.
Innsmouther's bodies were blessed by the sea. You're gonna see a lot of us here, so you better get over it. We are proud of who we are.
You shot to kill. No warning, no second chances. You pursued Albert even after he fled. Why?
I can't remember it. When he woke, it was like a bloody mist descended over me. First thing I recall after is that darn warehouse and me covered in blood. I had no idea what happened, though. I suspected it had something to do with that ape. Turns out, I was right.
The things you did to Albert don't look like a bloody rage. A fatal shot to the head, a hidden body. One might start to wonder if it was deliberate.
I don't know what to say. I wasn't myself.
I hear there's a bit of a feud between the Innsmouthers and the Throgmortons. Care to fill me in?
Those apes hated us from the moment we arrived in Oakmont. Our home was destroyed. We just needed a place to stay. The Blackwood Grand family sheltered us, but others were not as hospitable. We needed jobs, food, and medicine. The city denied it all.
And so?
We had to fight for every crumb of bread. And those Throgmortons in their high castle only made our life harder, always conspiring behind our backs. always setting people against us. I'd love to see them suffer like we suffered.
You mentioned a grand family. What do you mean?
So you're a newcomer, huh? Explains a lot.
Yeah, a newcomer with a gun. Answer the question.
Okay. People here are crazy about bloodlines and tradition and reputation. The head honchos of Oakmont are called the Grand Families. There's the Carpenters, who control most of the city's underworld, the Blackwoods, who share kin with Innsmouthers through the Marsh family.
And let me guess, the Throgmortons.
Right, those filthy apes. Now that most of the Blackwoods are gone, there's nobody left to protect us Innsmouthers.
I think I've got all I need.
Please, Mr. Reed, don't tell Throgmorton about me. I know I'm in no position to ask. I didn't want to do whatever it is I did. Honest, have mercy, please. I have a family.
Η family. Τα
Without me,
ψαράκια.
they'll starve.
This is not exactly cut and dry. I need some time to think.
Perhaps I can offer something to grease your grinds. I still have a few bullets
Ω,
on
μας
me.
λαδώσει.
You think you're the first person to offer me a bribe?
Please, Mr. Reed.
Now, don't try my patience further, Mr. Flynn.
Please, I told you the truth, I swear.
Σωστό.
Please, I told you the truth, I swear.
Αλλά παιδιά, σεισμός θα ξαναγίνει και θα ξαναγίνει.
What the? Get the... Oh.
Οπότε κάτι υπομονή.
You want a drink?
Embrace your fate.
The port is closed by order of Robert Throgmorton.
Λοιπόν, μόλις κλείσουμε λίγο το case αυτό, κάνουμε στάση, γράφουμε πρώτο επεισόδιο ότι ξεκινήσαμε και πάμε για το δεύτερο. Κάτσε να δούμε ότι κάπου εδώ πρέπει να ολοκληρώνει το πρώτο.
I tracked the murderer down, but he was attacked by those things prowling the back alleys. They tore him apart. It was that Innsmouther fisherman, Lewis. He was covered in your son's blood. That may have attracted the beasts.
Are you certain the body is his?
Beyond any doubt. All that's left of him is a heap of flesh and this scrap of cloth. It's from his jacket. Just ask his friends.
Alas, this was my revenge to exact, not some wild beast's. Something must be done about those pests. Still, justice has been served. This isn't closure, but at least I know now the story. Thank you.
Mr. Throgmorton, I hate to press you, but do you think you could help me now?
Yes, you've earned it. Okay, to think a newcomer barely off the boat solves a crime the police couldn't, but I digress. Remind me, What brought you to Oakmont?
I'm looking into an outbreak of erratic behavior and madness, all linked to shared visions of this place.
Indeed. Then our goals align. This inexplicable hysteria has spread through Oakmont after the flood. I funded an expedition to explore recent geological activity that may be responsible.
A geological expedition? I'm not sure I follow.
I have reason to believe the flood and this madness have the same source. As above, so below. So I sent men to find out.
You mentioned the flood. You think it's more than just a natural disaster?
You weren't here, Mr. Reed. What happened defied scientific explanation.
Has your expedition found anything?
I do not know. Albert was part of it. His passing cannot be coincidence. Why was he alone at the port? And where are the others?
Do these cases of hysteria involve shared visions as well?
Since the flood, many Oakmonters have had similar nightmares. Indeed, Professor Doe, the expedition leader, complained of them.
Waterlogged ruins with unnatural architecture, a sleeping giant, drowned streets, and a void.
Her words exactly. She proposed the expedition.
You think your son was killed because the expedition uncovered something?
Is it so hard to believe? I had no news for a week, then Albert, the only one I could trust.
It does sound suspicious.
Mr. Reed, I want you to find out what's going on. I expect you're as interested in the expedition.
If I'm going to look into this, I'll need to know more. Where should I start?
I'll give you the address of the expedition.
That's all you can tell me?
Let me be clear, Reed. You do not speak to me like that again.
I'm sorry, Mr. Throckmorton. I just meant the more I know, the better.
I am a busy man. I funded the research, but left all preparations to Professor Doe and Albert. When you've finished, come see me at the Throgmorton family manor. It's in Old Grove. Here, I'll show you.
What about my expenses?
They will be reimbursed after you complete your task. And of course, you've earned some compensation for your work here at the... I'll also include a fair advance in bullets.
Bullets?
The dollar lost its use here, Mr. Reed. After the flood, Oakmont returned to bartering. Bullets mean more than bills.
Το καθαρίσαμε, παιδιά, το πρώτο. Case complete.
I've said everything I know.
Don't do anything stupid, newcomer. And keep your hands where I can see them.
Άρα τώρα μπορούμε να κινηθούμε. Λοιπόν, guys, αυτά. Κλείνω. Episode 1 over. Συνεχίζουμε Σαββατοκύριακα να παίζουμε για να καλύψουμε για να τελειώσουμε το παιχνίδι. Νομίζω το παιχνίδι έχει ένα story που τραβάει. Σιγά σιγά θα το χωνέψουμε και θα το λύσουμε. Λοιπόν, αυτά. Καλή εβδομάδα, θα τα πούμε αύριο, θα παίξουμε και λίγο Fort, θα κάνουμε ζωγραφομαχίες, θα ξεκινήσω Minecraft Premium με τον Έκτορα να δούμε πώς και τι και πάμε παρακάτω και βλέπουμε. Και εδώ, τι λέει, μία παραμέρα, μέρα παραμέρα, δύσκολο. δύσκολο, σουκού, θέλει λίγο χρόνο και με αναλώνει αυτό. Λοιπόν παιδιά, τα λέμε, ευχαριστώ όσους ήσασταν μέσα. Πάμε να το κάνουμε share, να βοηθήσουμε λίγο το στυλ του παιχνιδιού αυτό στο κανάλι, γιατί ξέρουμε, αλλά αυτό δεν το έχουμε δουλέψει.